This person says, would love to hear your take on the pop-up message from last night and today about Trump's involvement. I was scrolling along, hold on, actually, just for history's sake, I will tell you my experience. And I landed on this guy's live stream. And it let me in this guy's live stream for like a solid 3 to 5 minutes after the ban. It was really funny. It was the only thing I could access. I am pretty sure he was teaching Spanish speakers to speak English or English speakers to speak Spanish, but I don't know. I was too distraught to understand anything about what was happening. For like 2 full minutes, this was the only thing I could see on TikTok, and I was like, if this is the last thing I see. Anyway, after a classic mental breakdown, I refreshed the app, and in the background, you could still see like a TikTok, but it wouldn't load. And then we got this message here. And I want to say this was up all the way until this morning at some point, late morning Eastern time. And there was some criticism of this statement down here. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated that he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. The criticism is multifaceted. One, there is criticism because Trump was one of the first people to suggest a TikTok ban. Certainly not the only one. It is the most bipartisan thing our government has done in a long time, in my opinion. That's probably not really true, but it is a very bipartisan, like, Democrats and Republicans agree. Biden signed it. Trump wanted it in the first place, so, you know. So I do think it's important that we hold people equally accountable, but also realize who is in power while we hold them accountable. And also question people's motives to do things. I think that's extremely fair to question motive. This is early stages. We don't have enough information to know. We can speculate wildly at this point, and what a fun thing that is today. If you are open with other people about the fact that you are speculating and willing to change your mind if presented with factual evidence, speculation is fine to me. There was also criticism because of the phrase President Trump. My understanding is that the etiquette for the most part is that when referring to a former president, you refer to them as former president name. So for example, Obama, we'd say former President Obama. If you are speaking directly to former President Obama, you address him as President Obama, though. That is my understanding. So this would be inappropriate use. He should have been called President-elect Trump and should still be called President-elect Trump until he's actually inaugurated. Is that nitpicky? I don't know. Is formality important? In my opinion, sometimes. And then there's also a strong reaction to this because it does look like quite an easy tee up for Trump. There was a statement from TikTok that was like, we need Biden to take a more firm stance. Basically, they wanted Biden to come out and go, you're not going to get penalized, because there was like a clause that said that there would be a penalty for not enforcing the ban. And I guess they didn't feel confident that he wouldn't like pull the rug from under them. The best thing I can compare this to is when you are like driving on the road and somebody has the right of way and they like wave you through, right? And you're like, no, I want you to go because you legally have the right of way. And if I go and you hit me, it is still my fault. And that's kind of where they're at. They're like, you're not going to wave me through. I don't trust you. You need to put out a formal statement being like, there's no way you'll get penalized. And the statement that Biden presented, what they are alleging is that the statement that Biden presented was not enough for them. And in their latest statement, they have said that the assurance they've gotten from Trump's administration was enough for them. Is it all PR? Very possibly. Is there a nefarious behind the scenes stuff happening? Also very possibly. I don't have enough information once again. So as of this morning, this message was up, and then late, I'll be honest, out of pure muscle memory, my thumb was traveling over to the TikTok app every like, I don't know, 5 to 15 minutes. And so I caught this right when it changed, and it said, TikTok is temporarily unavailable. We are working hard to resolve this issue. Thank you for your patience. The timestamp on this is 11:34 a.m. I thought it was really interesting that they did two things here. They removed any reference to banning TikTok or President-elect Trump, and they also removed the link, the Learn More link that took you to a TikTok website. Similarly, in the background, different things were happening. Like it used to load other stuff behind this, then it stopped. For a little while, I was still getting notifications at the top. It was like, people are sending you messages. I was like, I want to know. I want to talk to them. Then within 20 minutes, it starts mentioning the ban once again, and it says, we are working to restore our service in the U.S. as soon as possible, and we appreciate your support. Please stay tuned. Again, the Learn More button is gone, and I was back to dismiss. After literally, for me, it was 10 minutes. That message, that pop-up went away, and I got this. No internet connection, tap to retry. I could access my notifications, but not really check them. could look at my explore page but not actually watch any videos. And then slowly everything came back. So those are the details. Again, the most important thing I want you to take away from this is that we don't know what things mean yet. And you guys are going to hear so much speculation. So please listen with a critical ear. Ask yourself if the person talking to you is profiting off of like your engagement even. Like I literally am profiting off of engagement, but I promise to never I promise I will never weaponize that against you. Oh my God. Unlike some people who you are all probably thinking of one right now. Anyway, think critically about especially conspiracy theories. Ask yourself, is this more likely to be true or more likely to be false? And don't forget about Occam's razor and Hanlon's razor. Occam's razor says the explanation involving the least amount of assumptions is the most likely explanation. And Hanlon's razor, it says never attribute something to malice that can be attributed to stupidity. So remember both of those things, not just with this story, but with literally all things at all times. Whew. And there are exceptions to every rule, okay? But those are a good starting point. I promise I'm not going to become a political person on here. I just wanted to give you guys some updates about this specific stuff, and I hope this wasn't too political for my audience. I'm sorry if it was. But for those of you that enjoyed it, you're welcome. And I love you guys equally regardless. Drink water, bye.